Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Okay, so I just got off the phone with someone and I hadn't talked to this person in a long time. And it's prompted me to make this video. And first off, I want to put out a disclaimer that I am not an expert in relationships. I have experience in relationships. Relationships meaning wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, mom, dad, family, friends, that kind of thing. And here is the truth. And I'm sure you know this. But relationships are really hard. They are very difficult. They can be very difficult. Sometimes, if not most times, relationships they're good. They are a positive, if not anchor, for people's lives. They're good. But when they go south, that can be a real issue. It's important, at least for me, to understand with relationships, regardless of what kind of relationship it is, things are going to go up and they're going to go down sometimes. That's the way it is. You know, with marriages, half of them end up in divorce, right? It's important to understand and realize there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. There's just not. It might be perfect sometimes, often, the majority of the time, but there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. They don't exist. There is going to be issues at some point. Here's another interesting thing about relationships, and I'll focus on marriage or being with someone for a period of time, right? So, people who get married really at any time in their life, but the younger age that people get married, the more time they have to grow and live, right? There's more time on the clock. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but when we get older, if you're kind of older, I'm 38, but when we as humans get older, we change. Sometimes we change for the better. Sometimes we change for the worse. Sometimes we drastically change. Drastically. With a marriage, when it's been happening for a while, a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, whatever the number is, the further that marriage goes, that's wonderful. But people naturally change over time. And the person that you married isn't always the same person 10 years later, right? I know I am not the same person I was 5 years ago, especially 10 years ago. So with a marriage between husband and wife, it can possibly go its separate ways. because people grow sometimes in different directions. That is just life. That is the way that it is. It can be a tough pill to swallow. It can be hard. But I think it's very important to completely accept there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. I'll give you an example. When someone, husband or wife, turns out to not be happy for maybe a very valid reason, maybe not, whatever the case may be, they're unhappy now. They want a divorce. Divorce should be the last option, the last straw you pull. Right? Now, sometimes, if not often, divorce is a very necessary straw to pull. It's the right thing to do in some cases. But think about it. If you get married in your mid-20s, give or take, and you start to progress financially, you have children, whether it's a child, two children, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the case may be, as time goes on, things start to get extremely intertwined. It's not just the husband and wife who are going to be affected if there is a breakup or a divorce. Now you've got children. Now, and I'm not defending men, this is just the way it is, and from my own personal experience, the man is likely going to get the lesser end of the deal. The woman will likely keep the majority, if not all, of what the relationship built over time. And she will very likely have custody, the majority of custody, over the children, if there are any. So, for women, getting a divorce doesn't impact the life like it does for a man, most often. And in my personal experience, I lost everything. I gave up everything. I walked away with literally my computer and the cameras, the video cameras that I had, and clothes. I left where I was the primary bread maker. I left over 6 acres of land, a brand new home, and a 1-year-old daughter. To me at the time, it was the right thing to do. And the reason I say that is because I saw the writing on the wall. Okay? I didn't think it was going to work. I thought we got to a point where it's not going to work. I didn't want to push the boulder or kick the can down the road while my daughter got older and then wasn't used to not having her mom and dad around the whole time. So I made the decision, right or wrong, to pull the cord when my daughter was just over a year old. That way she didn't know what it was like to have her mom and dad and couldn't miss it. Now, I don't know if that was the right idea. I don't. I'm just spilling the beans on my personal experience. I'm giving you one reason as to why, at least on my side, it was a good idea to end the relationship. But relationships aren't just strict to men and women. It's interesting. I don't know. One love, everybody.